Hi everybody, I didn't get a chance to introduce myself to everyone. I'm Cosmetic from Cosmetic, in charge of all the international partnerships, relationships. Well, I was gone for 2 years, I'm coming back. So nice to meet you all. Cosmetopea is a great project. Well, Jean-Luc Ancelto talked about it a few minutes before. We were launched maybe 8 years ago, something like that. It takes time. We have a thesis already done with his thesis. And well, a few years ago with Quebec International, we worked a lot on a database, which is a web tool. We built it completely. The idea is to put all the information about Cosmetopea by country. We have a neutral tool which is empty, and the idea is to copy it to every country that would like to have it for his country, to put all his own Cosmetopea, country Cosmetopea in this tool. So we will talk about this later on with all of you, but the idea is to make that tool useful for all the country member of the cluster of CCIN. And I'm going to give the thing to Jean-Michel, because Quebec was the first one to use the database, Cosmetopea database, and he's going to give you the example of it. But don't hesitate to talk about this with both of us. We have the information.
Okay, thank you, Segola. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. I'm Jean-Michel Garraud, Director of Life Sciences from Economic Development Agency of Quebec City. And this morning I want to share with you our experience on what is the database of Cosmetopée in Quebec. So the project is an initiative of Cosmetic Valley, and we discovered some years ago the possibility of perform a database that could regroup the different essences that grow in Quebec and try to make the state of the art for each of these plants. So we begin to listen all the plants that grow in the Quebec area, in the province of Quebec, and then we ask for different partners coming from public and private sectors in order to fulfill the works that they do. That means if there are some cooperative, agriculture, forest, marine that have the production of some plants, they must fulfill the information. The database is not a Wikipedia approach, nor a catalog of products to sell, so you don't will find a product of 20 grams or like $80. The idea is to make a report of the state of the art. That means, if for this plant do you have a cooperative that produce the plant? We have a company that make an extract, because I don't want to get from one country to another country a ton of products, but a couple of kilos. If there's some laboratory research that could have analysis that will show properties concerning needles, bark, sheets, different parts of a plant, if there's a company that have made a formulation or a research center that have an analysis. So the idea is that a company, a foreign company that could develop a cosmetic could consult this database and find the best plant that could fulfill your requirements. I think is a possibility, a huge possibility, a huge visibility for each of country to put in value their biodiversity, and in our case it gives a lot of contacts. Also the idea of the database is to put all the contacts in the database. So if you get the information concerning the company that make the extract, you will find at this database the whole contact of the person responsible for that. So you don't lose time trying to identify someone. The person is already there, the emails, the phone, the name, and all the information that you need. So, and the use of this database could be in different ways, because we try to describe the different contributors. So you have a search by properties of the plants, but you can also have a search by sector. That means the companies that make plants, that companies that make extracts, that companies that make research works, formulation, and so on. And in one case, we get a company that that are only a seller of dryer, a company selling dryers that consult this database and get the companies that make plant extract. So they see if the companies are making extract, they probably will need a dryer, and they have all the companies that the potential clients for that. The idea, once again, is to try to valorize your diversity of products, and I encourage the different content to fulfill, because the database is already available for all the countries that want. You must pass by association, by products. As I said, we begin to fulfilling the name of the plants, and then we ask the whole partners to fulfill the contents that they can furnish, and then we begin this work. So you have in the C7 pavilion a demonstration of this tool, and you can consult. We will be here this afternoon. Thank you.
What's important also, sorry, just a little word, is that this database has to be in the hand of someone who is neutral, who doesn't have any interest in the tool, because this tool doesn't have to be in the hand of one industry or one laboratory. It's for the country, and the idea is to have the right contact in each country. That's why we want to work with the clusters, to be the first contact of it, and who's going to be able to be in contact with industrial laboratories, but it has to be neutral in order not to be a pure commercial tool. It's the interest of each country. This is very, very, very important for us. It was made for that. Thank you very much.